What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action. Spawning in the blue color, playing as Shenong. His name is Gabu. He's the 21st Gabu at that. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Freya. His name is I'm Unimpressed, but also known as Kido, Severo, Jones, the Great. I know him as Jonesy. You know him as Kido. We know him as the man with many names. The map here, Marsh. And yeah, Kido's back onto his main here for this one. This is the god that he's been having the most success with, I think, and the one that he probably feels the most comfortable with. He obviously plays all the gods to a very, very high level, but it's always exciting to see him play some Freya and show us what he's got, especially when he's going up against this China shenanigans. Now, recently we have been seeing the Chinese starting to become a little bit more explored, a little bit more understood. For example, everyone at sort of the launch of the Chinese sort of looked at the gods and were like, well, New War is clearly, it's very simple what you do. You just do this, you do this, and it makes perfect sense, right? But Fuxi and Shenong, these two gods are a little bit more on the, what is actually the best idea? Now, if you're up to date with all the videos that I've been putting out, you would have already seen the 3DB take on Shenong, which was build Yatsu, build more Yatsu, and then when you finish building Yatsu, build some more. But there is also some other ideas of spending favor. You know, you got your heroic age myth units, which you can save your favor for. You can choose to get into the Quaofu and play maybe more for an economic advantage going into the late game as well. So yeah, there's some good options here. We do say that Gabu is going to be opting into getting himself those Shenong farms. Now, if this is you doing this, you want to try and make those farms get right to touch the town center. This farm over here, this villager has to move. If you look at this villager and just keep watching her, she's going to drop her food off. That's like 0.01 of a second or something. Barely moves to drop it off and then she's back to work. So yeah, if you can get the farm to be like attached to the town center, you can actually fit only 8 farms around the town center before they start being slightly less efficient. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, the small things do matter a little bit. Let's check out the relics on the map now. For those of you who haven't been playing along at home and you want to play along at home, Marsh has changed a little bit. The relics now spawning around the sides of the map instead of the middle, as we get Ring of Nibelung, a nice one over here, and Feather of Bifang. I love this relic. I think it's really cool. Bonus damage versus buildings. It's not a lot, 0.2x. The Zeus bonus is 0.5x, but it's still something there. I think the reason why the relics were moved to the side of the map was it kind of felt like the gods that had the hero advantage early on would just snap up all the relics, and the gods that sort of struggled to get their heroes out into the center of the map, they would miss out. So putting the relics a little bit more further out of reach, that's going to be a nice thing for both players. So both players are going to have access to their own relics. If you want to go and steal your opponent's relics, you've really got to put some effort into doing so. But we've already seen the first of many Yatsu coming out. Let's do a flipsy here. Chiyo going to be coming out here as well, and he is going to be looking for some big raids to kick this one off. Now the question is, will the Freya of Kido be able to defend against this? Because he's already going to be getting a second one out, searching around here for some damage. Does dive in onto that Berserk, only doing a little bit of damage because he doesn't have those upgrades just yet, as the Hersa comes in and the Yatsu does need to retreat back. Now, for those of you trying to work out how to play this god at home, take a look at this building placement. Kido goes, oh, you can't come in from this way, so I'm going to wall that off. Bam. Where's the other point that's scary? Over here. So I'm going to wall that off artificially with a house and a temple. Now, if you want to come into this way, yes, you can, but you're going to get trapped in here to some degree. And now we also see on this position an Asgardian Hillfort coming down, a Longhouse coming down, a house over here coming down, and this is going to be a very, very difficult position for any Yatsu to make it through. Now, the one way that I've figured out how to dispose of this threat is to say, hey, come in, fight me, kill off a villager. As soon as you come through, I'm going to turn around with all my villagers and start shanking you. Have my Herser in the area, and we're going to trap those Yatsu in my base, and they're both going to go down very, very quickly. As we do see, Agnar Hraufnson does actually move himself away from this position as the Yatsu come through, going to get a little bit of damage, but going to be able to get into the town center, no problems. Just before that son of, I still don't exactly know how to say this, but Long comes through. Once that comes through, now the dwarves, they aren't safe anymore. They're going to be very much in for some trouble as a cheeky little watchtowers comes through. The Asgardian Hill Fort will be finishing up. Kido's base is really nice. He's got a town center back here. He's got the 2 gold mines back here as well. What's happening in the main base of Gabu? He's now dropping himself the machine workshop. He's got himself an Imperial Academy out as well. And he's just going to be pumping out more and more Deuterinos here as the game goes on. As the Yatsu does dash through here. Dashing through these walls can be a little bit risky. He spots a Draugr here, but then the Herser comes in. That's damage to come through every little bit of this manage. Yes, you can heal them back up, but if you can pick one off, it's huge. As now the Yatsu going to be searching around here onto this side. We've got a settlement now coming through, almost completely taken out over here. It does take 20 seconds to get that recharge time back up and running, as opposed to, say, an Anubite, which is only 10 seconds. So these things, you know, you got to be pretty careful with how you're going to be utilizing them there. As the Berserk's going to get taken down over here. We've got some Herser to come through, going to be sniping down those Deuterinos on this side. It is a little bit of a ASMR stream tonight. I might raise my voice a little bit, but we're trying to keep the volume somewhat on the lower end. Apologies for the irregularness, but it is what it is. As the Pioneer going to be coming in, we do see a couple of those Huskarl to come through. These things will be able to deal with those Pioneers really, really easily. If you get out a handful of them, maybe even if you have like 3 out, you could probably beat all those Pioneers, no problems. As the Yatsu do manage to dash back to safety, getting them all, keeping them all alive. And he's going to be able to heal them back up. So they have to run back over onto this favored land, and he's going to get them back up. Now, it looks to me like Gabu is investing a little bit into Huafu. He's got no favor in the bank. He is training them, so he's not going crazy on this Yatsu idea. Instead, he's just getting a couple of them out and just sort of trying to force Kido into bad positions with them. But Kido's defended it absolutely beautifully thus far. There's a great haul going to be coming down. Konbanwa Robuzu-san. How you going, my friend? I actually did just go to the Perth Japanese festival, so I've definitely had my take of Japanese for today. But we'll see if we can actually get any damage done, because right now it's not looking like he's going to be able to. So he's going to have to think about, well, a heroic age sort of timing, whether using like the drought. I think you get drought with, you definitely get drought with this god, yeah. Whether he decides to go through Nubar or decides to go through Rusho to get the damage with the Fey Beasts. We'll have to wait and see. But I do like the idea of a big drought timing here to force out a Gullimbursty, and then you don't have to worry about that, claiming the center of the map and all the good things, you know, Asgardian Fortress or Hill Fort to come down. Seems good. As Gabu just going to continue to put buildings down. I haven't really seen this style of China very much. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I think you have to be a little bit more creative with how you're actually looking to get damage done, because as most people will know, in Age of Mythology, there's 3 things to do. You can build units, you can tech, or you can get economy. And if you're going to be building units, you have to do something with them. Otherwise, your opponent is going to be getting tech or getting economy. And if that doesn't get punished, then eventually that tech or economy is just going to outscale your units. So you have to do something with it at some point here. So we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. As we do have a Chillin to come through, free Chillin. Shidong does get those free myth units It's very, very nice. As the stone wall's coming through for Kido, and he is going up through A gear. Now, A gear with that Tempest, that is so powerful. So powerful here in this sort of a game. Now, we've already actually looking at a little bit of a villager advantage cooking up here for Gabu. I'm not sure if he got the town center up faster or not. There hasn't really been any villager kills, as we do have the Yatsu to come through onto this side. Trying to harass down those villagers as everything has to sort of garrison away. But a couple of deaths coming in here as Kido looking to actually take a little bit of a fight. He's got to be careful on this one. Those fire archers do a lot of damage here. As there's the heroic age in, and given the presence of the Asgardian hill fort, Gabu does not want to keep fighting there. Not at all. As Feast of Renown now going to be coming through. Couple of walls to come up over here, and we are actually seeing that this is a technology unique to Shenong. Don't see it very often, or haven't yet seen it. I think it's pretty good. You get that herbal medicine. It's going to be making your sages heal somewhat faster. So actually it enables distributed heal. So they're actually going to be able to heal up multiple units at the same time. But I'm not sure if... I haven't seen any sages out yet, but it's definitely going to be a unit that Gabu's going to be wanting to build, because if you get that one through with a rock giant, use that special ability, and you can actually get your opponent's units all taunted up and have the same sort of efficiency there as well. But the immediate feast for now, this thing is big. We've already got four food a second coming in, and it's just going to be more and more and more as the Baihu decides time to jump over the wall. He just kind of hops over it. He's like, a couple of Herser are in position to defend here as he's going to start getting that damage done. This is one tanky unit as the Fey Beasts come through, and we see the Golem burst. He gets dropped. Huh? Well, not exactly sure what Kido was doing there, but I love the idea. The Golem Bursty with that special ability. Hang on, I can't tell you exactly. Maybe I can. Here we go. So with that spawn thing, let me see if I can find it. The shockwave is 40 times 2 against those Fey Beasts. These things got 55 HP. I got 69 hack armor. So this guy should one hit them with his spawn in if you're in the heroic age. Shockwave, heroic age, 60 times 2, right? I'm surprised it didn't one hit them. Like, a couple of them survived. Maybe they were on the outside of the shockwave. That's why they survived. But then Kido, unfortunately, garrisoned the wrong unit. I think he probably clicked on the dwarves to garrison. There's a hotkey you can actually use. I don't use it personally, but I know that people do. There's this hotkey here. It's really, really useful, I think, but I've never tried it. Is Alt-C, and that's going to basically rush for cover. Or you can use Alt-X as well, I think. But he probably accidentally clicked that onto the Golem Bursty instead of the dwarves, and they sort of ran the Golem Bursty and left the dwarves, unfortunately, as some scary Yatsu are going to be coming through the bottom. But nonetheless, the defense has been in there. That economic advantage is starting to creep through. But, I mean, when you look at it, is he really in front? There's more military for Kido. There's more income or more resources in the bank for Kido at the moment. So probably also more tech. You have to also remember that Frere doesn't need to spend as many resources on tech there. So he's probably got more at the moment as well. So even with a little bit of extra economy to come through for Shenong, the game is effectively equal at very worst, if not in the advantage for Kido, as he's now going to be getting himself Vidar. And he's getting himself that third town center. This one, getting this one up is a little more risky. No more Golem Bursty, but he has to grab it. We've already got the third town center coming through for Gabu as well. This is just a natural progression here. And the question is going to be, what sort of damage is Blazing Prairie going to do? This score power is maybe still not 100%. Kido's Kido's having some issues with hotkeys in this game. I think maybe he's tactically throwing. Mum might say tactically throwing in this game. If you hit this button, it stops it, right? Oh dear. Because we've got a Great Hall to come through here as well. A couple more units going to be grouping up onto this position. 9 waves coming in. All of the technologies on the way. You've got that heavy infantry, bronze armor, bronze weapons, even masons as well. The problem with masons, and I think maybe Kido knows this, he's already sort of geared up to deal with the... Maybe he doesn't know it actually, because he does see that it's not the dragon, it's going to be blazing prairie, and that can just get dropped down anywhere and everything will be erased. Effectively, yes, it's just a better earthquake in every single way. But that being said, you do have to account for things like, you can't just compare god powers across civilizations. It's much different to that. As we see, the Tempest getting dropped down. A little bit of a scary thing here. Is the Goaty going to be popping out, trying to get the damage done? Kaboo runs away with that dash move. As more units are going to be coming through, that technologies are also in. Kido attempting to survive on this, but he's got way more military population at the moment, as hill forts are going to get dropped down onto the bottom. Honestly, I don't even think Kido cares about the town center here. He just wants to get out those hill forts so that he can get the Huskal numbers out as well. But not only that, he's going to be needing, what, heroes to deal with all the myth units that are going to be coming his way. As the Inferno comes down, big amounts of damage, but it looks like the Blazing Prairie will get dropped down, and Kido not running out of it. Doesn't mean he takes the full brunt of this, as the Fafnir are going to be getting taken out, and now, I mean, there's still... Kido's still at full population. I don't really know where all of his military are. They're all sitting back for the time being, waiting, but he's still at full population, and he is in front at the moment. He just has to move forward and get his town center back. But he is researching himself fortified town centers. On the other side, we see Sages, Chukonu, Pioneers, all of the good stuff here. And we are seeing those very, very important infantry technologies to come through. But as he didn't go through Huangdi, which does give access to the most powerful of the Chinese army, he might not be able to compete with this Norse army one-to-one. We'll have to wait and see. As the heavy white horse cavalry are coming through. These are a little bit scary, I would say, for the Huskal, as more units starting to come through now, and Kido effectively has to take some fights here. The town center is going to get denied. You just take some of those fire archers to shoot it down, it's going to go down very, very quickly. But the fighting now underway here. More heroes to come through, but there's really not any myth units for the moment here from Gabu, so they're not going to be that useful. We see any throw an axeman? Not really, but it looks like the champion infantry is through, and this might be enough here. Now we do see the lightning weapons. This is a bit of a scary one. It makes your human soldiers do extra 4 divine damage per hit, which is not a small amount of damage, and it has a chance to stun enemy units, which obviously you can see there happening. So town center gets denied. And Kido is going to be holding on to the center. But it looks to me like Kido is going to be completely fine to continue along in this one. Meanwhile, over here is a little bit of waste of population on this water here. It makes sense to get those docks up and try and use those units, but to some degree when you're behind on, and you're not really behind on population, but when you are behind on population, you got to be careful there. As the Qinglong, the freed Qinglong, this is the unit you never want to see coming out for Shenong, is out. And now, how is Kido going to deal with that? He's got the Goaty here. Now, I'm going to let you in on my secret here for Freya. Don't put villagers on food. Look at what's happening over here. Barely any food expenditure. You can get Huskal, you can get Goaty, You can get Thrown Axemen. You can get Ballista. You can get Portable Rams. You can get Rock Giants. Plus, you've got Feast of Renown. So at the moment, 11, going on 11 fortresses. That's going to be like having 11 villages plus the 3 towns in it, so 14 villages on food. You don't need any on food, considering the expenditure. But nonetheless, the Secrets of the Titans now starting to research Freyr's gift on the way. The units here for Kido are starting to get very big. It's just even more hill forts. This is where this god Freyr gets so obscenely powerful. Tons of these forts. He could probably end up going into Ballista here, and it could be very, very scary for Kaboo to push forward. But Kaboo now going to be trying to grab himself this 4 towns in here. He's set up the watchtowers. No guard tower in just yet. He's got plenty of resources in the bank, so I'd love to see him grab those. There's some siege crossbows now starting to come through. And a huge amount of Ballista queued up. We do have siege engineers to come through as well, but that's going to take some time to finish up. I didn't realize that. Apparently, Hillfort conscripts doesn't affect your Ballista train time. But nonetheless, 225 to 260 population. Kido is fighting to deny that population from going up, and it looks like he's going to be able to here, as he manages to take the town center down. And let's see if he can snipe down all of those buildings as well. But I mean, part of this is also you want to snipe down the units as well. But maybe Kido can start thinking about making towers and things like that. But I mean, the obvious plan here for Kido is hold, deny any sort of pushing, and get a Titan out. Meanwhile, over on this side, more hill forts to come that way. How many does he have now? 13 hill forts in a dream. I feel like we need to get it. I feel like we need to get a photo mode here because this is just so ridiculously crazy. How many hill forts do you want? Kido says, "I want this many." Hang on, let's just do this. There's a lot of hill forts there. That's good. And then we'll go for daytime, and we'll go for dream because that makes perfect sense. That's a nice screenshot. You can't say that's not terrible. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But it looks like Kido is going to be completely fine to hold here. Try and take down the siege weapons and everything else. As those towers are going to be going down on the back. This is just basically pure siege here now for Kido. I imagine his plan has to be, once Six of the Titans comes through, you can just trim down like, I don't know, 20, 30 villages into berserks and replace those with the ox caravans. But there's the Titan to come through. I mean, will he actually go for it? He is making the upgrades to come through. He's got that Fury of the Fallen, Servants of Glory, Silent Resolve. Haven't really seen Silent Resolve doing anything. I'm not exactly sure what the idea is, like how you're supposed to use it, but nonetheless, Kaboo's army, I don't even know if he needs the Titan. Kaboo's army is just kind of not able to do anything versus these heavy Ballista. I mean, the simple answer to all these Ballista is you just make a ton of cavalry. But I guess you can't make cavalry if your ballet are just getting absolutely smoked. This is actually so wild. How many Ballista do you want? You got to be so careful with them. If they get out of position, they're all going to die. Kido, he's got all the line of sight in the world. Can he get back here? It looks like the White Horse Cavalry, they're coming through. And he will start to get some good damage done. But let's see how much damage they actually do as the Ballista simply just retreating back. Towers to come up. Kido playing this one basically like... How do I put this? I mean, he's just going to slow push here with towers everywhere. Ballista. And just slowly start to kill this Chinese of Kaboo. Where's the Titan gate at? Is he actually building it? I don't think he's even put it down. Am I wrong? Is it oh, there it is. Just put it behind. That's so close to the front line, but it's like it doesn't matter. There's more towers to come through. And try and take out some of those siege crossbows on the back. Town center going to come up now as well. As the siege crossbows coming through, they should be... I mean, who does more damage? I guess it doesn't matter with this many Ballista. You can't beat this many Ballista with siege crossbows. Oh, Fey Beasts are in. Does this kill off all the Ballista as well? It kind of looks like it's going to be doing some serious damage here. But it looks like it's not quite enough. And in that moment, Kido says, I can't beat this. And he taps out. GG. I mean, like I said, the obvious answer to beating these Ballista is to make pure cavalry. Pure cavalry will knock this down in an instant. But where are the ballet for Kido? He doesn't have any. He's got 0 ballet. How's he supposed to make cav? Maybe halberdier might be an option to take these out as like a last-ditch effort. He does have the infantry upgrades on them, right? So they are getting some divine damage. A divine damage on a low hack damage unit. It's kind of huge. So maybe that's an idea. Maybe he could have been able to take it out. They do move pretty quickly at 5 speed. But I don't really see anything else. Like maybe you can go for these bad boys if they're fully upgraded. But even then, like the speed of a Ballista at 3.1 versus 3.8, you see them running forward. You just run back to the hill forts. So a really, really nice find here from Kido. Going to be scary to beat this one. Huge amount of Ballista. I mean, we've always been scared of Ballista Fire Giant, but what about pure Ballista? Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider following the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.